Hello everyone. So we are back and with another project. But in this project, you are going to learn a lot of new things. Okay, like not just your typical backend Node.js project created REST API and done. No, like we'll be learning how to utilize the agentic AI not to wipe code, but to produce world-class results. Okay, like to produce the kind of code that is acceptable in the companies. Okay, so like every company has their own coding standard, but generally, what will be the best practices that how you can achieve using this agentic AI that I'm gonna show you, and we will be creating the MS Word REST APIs. We created the MS Word clone frontend, and now we are creating the REST APIs. Possibly in the future, we might be integrating these two. But for now, the main purpose of this is to know how you can create a backend using Node.js and follow the best practices. All right. So, like, let me first initialize the project. What I'm going to do is npm init. Yes, package name will be this version 1.0.0. Yeah, description the backend for MS Word load. Alright, entry point will be index.js anyway. Test command. Let's skip it for now, but we will definitely have the unit testing as well, guys. Alright, but you will not have to write it manually. Okay, for now there's no Git repository, but in future there will be. I'll be providing the source code link. Keywords, author, yeah, license, no license, like type common JS, yeah, yes. So now what you can see is that it created this package.json, all right, and here you see the name, version, discount, whatever we enter from the terminal came here. Okay, now you see in this scripts test, echo, error, no test specified means see currently we don't even have an application. So what testing? Right. Going forward, we will be having commands like node index.test or node test or maybe just simply whatever we can have. But for now, let's leave it like this. Now I'm gonna show you how you can actually lay the foundation of our project. Okay. So when you are using cursor, go to the plan mode. Okay. And now I'm gonna tell this my plan. Okay. Now you will know how to actually write the prompts to build the REST APIs for MS Word clone, which I created using the actions. Fair enough. We have authentication, sign in, sign up, and like apart from the sign in, sign up, and sign out, no, we, we should have JWT authentication per user docs. Right? For now, let's keep it simple. Documents will be per user. Going forward, we might be adding a functionality to provide access to your document to other people. But for now, per user and docs means when a doc is saved, it should have a related user. The doc content can have a very large string, like very large string it can have because we will be sending you the raw markdown or HTML code. Okay, there might be images with base 64 value too in the document. So we will need to carefully decide our DB schema and the backend system design. System design, damn thing. Alright, we will be using MongoDB and that we will use using Docker. Okay, that we will use using the Docker. But how you can use it using the Docker, I will tell you this. You don't have to worry about anything. Okay, I will run the Docker commands in my device to run MongoDB image so we can use MongoDB. Add MongoDB, add for myself, yeah, add for myself. And now the project should use TypeScript. The file and the folder structure should be enterprise standard. Object oriented approach, and before anything create cursor rules files, separate files for concerns, but all regarding code and architecture, and in folder create if not exist, use it going forward. But if that does not use, I will tell you what exactly are cursor rules, how you can utilize them, and how you can produce great results using cursor rules. How they are going to be the best thing for you, I am gonna tell you. Okay, so should use TypeScript, file and folder should be enterprise standard, object-oriented approach. All right, and finally, ask any doubts that you may have. Okay, and also, yeah, you are allowed to install any required npm libraries. Yes, does. And now let's see what does it do. So as you can see guys, it is exploring the project and we have absolutely nothing. So now it is searching like NVM Express, Mongoose, TypeScript. We will be using Express. So you might be thinking Express is it really good for enterprises? Absolutely yes. I have personally given interviews for companies which are using Express.js for their backend. So don't worry about it. If someone is telling Express is not enterprise level, they are stupid. How should the React app send JWTs to the API via the access token? So I think for now we can keep this approach. Okay. Yes. So basic thread. Well, we will have this. Well, what we can do here is that we will send as only HTML for now. Okay, not Markdown. And for basis for images embedded in a Markdown HTML, preferred storage approach. Mm, Well, the front end should ideally upload the images separately. So for now, like we will choose the first option because the main purpose is not that. Okay. So I will press the continue. And now this is creating a plan. What exactly is a plan? So see, plan is also a kind of markdown file only. It is a markdown file, but Cursor recognizes it as a plan. And then Cursor executes it one by one. Okay. One by one, the to-dos will be executed by Cursor. As you can see, it has written so many things. So from the start, context is this, Express, Mongoose, TypeScript, Zord for validation, JSON Web Token, bcrypt.js, Helmet Course, Express Rate Limit, Pino HTTP, structured logging, and HTTP status codes, consistent status code. And for dev, this, yeah. So unit test we will be integrating later on, or should we have in this plan only? So we can modify this plan as well. Add one more thing to this plan that you will do at the end. Integrate unit testing and write complete tests to validate end-to-end functionality. In the end, also run linked and build for application every time so that there are no errors left. And you will see now this will modify. Here it has always applied, it has set to false, but I will set to true. Okay. Now first let it modify current plan with this prompt for rules set on C apply true for all. All rules should be enforced. This was final, guys. Okay, I will not be playing with the plans and plans, but you see how beautiful it is. Like how beautiful plan it has created. See, it has created the flow chart, high level architecture. Like these things we used to do before, but now this agentic AI is now doing it for us. Okay, and now authentication, flow chart. This you will show in the interviews, guys. Like how will it work? Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to save this file, okay, so that, and I will also like upload this to GitHub so that you can view it. And now let's click on build. Get ready, guys. I will be choosing this Composer 2.5 model only. Uh, this one and build. Now you will see magic. Okay, it just started to build. Hmm. And you see that it has added all the rules, guys. See, API conventions, success, error, validation, document ownership failures, everything. So see, guys, all the enterprise level standards will be followed and coding standards will be followed here. This we are doing for one reason, so that the AI produces the reliable results. You don't have to manually tell it every time, no, no, do this, do that. This is wrong, that is wrong, this is not working. No. First decide what we are going to do and then start implementing it. Go through the rules every time and then start implementing the changes. And also have the unit testing. Okay, you see this loader means the build is going on, and you see this, it marks this as complete. So how interactive it is. Here you see this file and folder structure it created. It created like this. Okay, env schema. So process.env. And here you see cannot find name process this that blah blah blah. Yeah, kubeconfig new form. Yeah, maybe let's add it. I'm not sure what will. Okay. Anyway, skip it. Let's see what it is up to. Yeah, you know, issue implicitly has any type. So guys, what we will do is that in the TypeScript standards, avoid any. Yeah, it should avoid any. So if anywhere it has used the any type, and we will tell it to avoid. Here you see, all these errors we're getting because we have not actually installed anything as of now. Okay. Core errors, infrastructure, database, server, share, types, express.t.tx. So, like, sometimes it happens that it may not produce the desired result, but don't worry. Like, desired result means that sometimes a few discrepancies will be there, like any type used or like the coding standard used is not up to the mark or something, whatever. Unit test, integration test it has written, and setup and unit test it has written. You see this, and huh, you see this ugly thing, dot 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 dot. This is very bad thing, right? So we will be fixing this also. So what we will do, configure an alias or have a base path. So instead of having src, we can simply have and not have to even enter the SRC. The base path should be inside SRC only. This is one thing. Second thing, check for any types and remove them completely. And after this, I will be asking this like what action items are pending on my end. Although it might tell us, but still. Okay, it's waiting, it's waiting. Should be running background. Hmm. Now it is installing the dev dependencies. Some error came. Yeah, I think one process was already going on. So that's why. Anyway, let it do its work. Until then, what we can do is we can explore what it is up to. So as per plan, okay, we will mark all of these as complete in the end anyway. But go to SRC, add topics, find module. So why? Because again, we will need to install everything. SRC. So currently, first, it will create app. It will get all the NVVAS and it will create an express application. It will create the application container, and then we will use the helmet. Helmet. Okay. For what it is, don't worry. We will know. Like I will be asking this cursor as well, like why it has done that. Okay. So don't worry. If you are confused, like what all it has written, don't worry. We know for logging and helmet. For what reason helmet it installed? We can check. Okay. Mm, Go to the top, go to the top for security, right? Yeah, these are all for security purposes. But what does it exactly do? We don't know, so we will ask. Okay. And see, guys, it is making changes. This is our app. Here it has bootstrapped. Okay. Now, let's go to the modules. Authentication application service file. This is the service file. Okay. So sign in and sign out was implemented. This is where it is doing the dependency injection and all right. So okay, it has developed now. We will send this so that it can like configure the alias and change the import types so that imports look beautiful and are not pain in the ass. And this is JWT service. So GWT token, first we sign the token, token is generated, and then token is verified. Domain, all the types for the user input and things like that. DTOs, like for all these validations, we will have this DTOs as well. And infrastructure, this is the model. So Mongo's model we created. So see, it has now configured the alias. Okay? Bulk replace relative imports. It is replacing. Let it replace. This is the config file. But anyway, we will go to so that you understand everything. Now we will go to the presentation. In the presentation folder, we have this controller. In this controller, we actually have the methods like to show what we are exactly going to do. Sign up, is this sign in, is this sign out, is this me, like get me, who is me, currently logged in user, this one, okay, and auth routes. So sign up route, sign in route, sign out route, me, okay, rate limit. So the rate limit is there means you do not want API to be like blasted by the hackers and increase your cost. Okay, so that's why you have all this cost and this rate limit and etc. So same for this documents as well. You see there are 19 problems. It will fix it anyway. Application, here it have document service and our document service. In the service file, what exactly happens? See, in the service file, what exactly happens is that you write the logic that what you are going to do with this create API. Let's say create method will be there in controller, which will be called by the create route. That route goes to controller. That controller calls this service. Now this service will provide the service. This service will do all the logic. Okay, content. We get the content HTML and we get the length and then we save it inside. Okay, now you see this get by the create and list. So, and we also have the pagination as well, which is really good thing. And we have the update endpoint as well. So if it is not updated, it will throw document not found here. Okay. Now, so now that everything is built, what is the action item pending on my end? Like how to the DB running and on Postman also I will test. So can you give any test API, any API to test? Hmm. Yeah, what is action item pending on my end now? This is very important, guys. I'm actually telling you how to actually work with AI. Okay, create a .env. You see, I was only thinking about this Docker and Postman. What about env, man? So first I will do is a npm install. Yeah, it has installed, and now I will have the .env file. Okay, I will copy this and I will paste it here. Node env's development only. Mongo URI, let's keep this only. Alright, and now, alright, so like this expires in not 1 hour, uh, 24 hours. Okay, rate limit max 100. Yeah, so this looks good. Env is here. Is it 32 plus character? So this is the command that I will have to run. First, I will need to get my Docker up and running. So I will run Docker. I'm opening the Docker desktop app, guys. You also need to install Docker and use it. So starting the Docker engine. Once it is started, I will update here. Come to Windows Subsystem. So I'm only sharing you the cursor window, okay? For now, because so that you can avoid any distraction. Engine is up and running. Okay, so what you will do is that note the steps. Install Docker, do all the setup, run it, keep the engine running, and now you are good to go. Okay, now I am going to run this command from the project root. Okay, it is going to pull the image. So you are seeing that it is pulling the image. So guys, you are also learning how to use Docker here. Okay, okay. So this is the Docker file here. YAML file. Okay, in this YAML file, basically YAML files are for Docker only. And here, what we are doing is like we are getting the image, Mongo and its version, and the name of the container. And this image already exists on Docker. Okay, already it is uploaded on Docker. We are just pulling it and using it. Okay, and now I will check Docker ps ms for Mongo. Yeah, start the API npm run dev. Okay. Hmm. Server is listening on port this. Okay. Base URL is this and quick check will be this. Is it possible to check using this? Well, if I turn the client, if I use sender client, let's install, press publisher and install. Hmm. Now, where is turn the client? Hmm. New request support using Cursor IDE. Yeah, fuck. I'm not gonna use it. Uninstall. Okay, restart extensions. So what we will do is we will be using Postman only. Okay, guys. So, or I have another option. You know what? Yes, extension which I can use to test APIs in Cursor IDE. Yeah, let's ask it. Because see, this is more like, tutorial on how to utilize the agentic AI to its fullest and deliver the quality results. That's why I'm using it in front of you. REST client. Let's see. So let's see if REST client. Oh, where is REST client? Wait, 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 wait. REST client. Send a request. How I'm gonna use it, man? No. Let me try Postman. Okay. So guys, like I have been through all of this, but I'm struggling here in front of you because you may also be struggling, like, and you might be thinking, yeah, what is that? But don't get disappointed. Every one of us struggles, and that's completely fine. Okay. I will be using the Postman now, and I'll check whether the Postman does our thing. Otherwise, what I will do is I will use the Postman application. Okay. Anyway, sign in. Google. Ah, ah, okay. See unexpected data from the server. Alright, so what I will do is that I will be using the Postman application. This means that like all of these absolutely shit, completely shit, and like the shittiest extensions in the world. So yeah, and here. All right, so here I will be sending the request. Let me see if there's an error. Yeah. So here it has sent us one API URL. Click get, copy, and paste it. Yeah. Okay. So this worked, guys. Congratulations. Now I'm gonna send another request to basically like sign up. Okay. And here what I'll do, globals HTTP ratio slash local host ratio 3000. Okay. Yeah. And now in the body, what I will send is this. And it's u8example.com password 123 name Lucky. Okay. Hit the send. Ah, okay. Post. Yeah. So I am able to sign up. Okay. And I have received access token or something. So since I have already signed up, what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this token and I'm going to paste it somewhere. Let's say I'm going to paste it here. Okay. Now get current user. Slash v1 slash auth slash me. And in the authentication, I will add the token. How I'm going to add the token, guys? Bearer token. And you see. So like this, you can test all of your APIs. I will not be testing each and every single API one by one. But guys, there is something which I want to like teach you here. So we learned about how you can completely create an end-to-end Node.js project, a working Node.js project using Cursor. Okay, we learned about the file and folder structure. We learned about the coding standards. We learned about how to actually utilize the agentic AI to produce the quality results. And we also learned how to test our APIs. We learned how to use Docker to use the MongoDB, and instead of every time going to MongoDB, create a cluster and bad thing, we do not want to do that. We learned this thing, and now what we are going to do is that we will be learning about this Postman collection thing. Okay, if you still don't know, I'll create a collection. So I'll create a collection MS Word clone. Okay, MS Word clone like this. Is it not draggable? No. Anyway, add requests. Anyway, I will save this. My workspace, MS Word clone. Save it here. Okay. I'm gonna delete it. Here, also the same thing. And here also the same thing. And guys, you can also rename. So rename, by renaming it will not change the URL, so don't get worried about it. Okay, let me rename it again in front of you. Sign up. See, it's very basic, and you can use this global variables. So you don't have to write the variable every time and do not have to expose it. Like so, now you also learn how to use the Postman so that you can create a collection. And there's one more thing which you can do is to simply export it. Mm, and then export collection. Yeah. So if I export, this will be exported as a JSON file. Okay. And this will be exported as a JSON file. You can always import it, and exactly like this it will be imported. Okay, so you can export it, you can explore that as well. These are the basics of this backend development. Okay, this is the config. We also learned how to like configure this import paths, and they do not have to write the dot 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 every time. Too many dots, Rahul Dravid, and yeah, so many libraries. We learn how to segregate this dev dependencies and the actual dependency. But dev dependencies are not the one which you want to be built along with the project. Okay, those are not necessary in production. In development, they are necessary. We learned cors, we learned .env. What does this helmet do? Let me ask. Go to ask mode. Okay, so that this is not able to make any changes. What does the helmet do here? What exactly is its task? So it will reply. Okay. In your Helmet Express middleware, set its security headers. It will set the security headers. Okay. So this is all what it does. When it goes to production, it will encourage HTTPS. Okay. So it is just like additional layer of security. Force means that for this particular URL only, your backend will be accessible. And this Pino HTTP is for login only. So yeah, and you can see here so many logs. Hmm. So many logs. So these logs you will also see in your cloud where you will deploy this. Okay. But for now, let's not talk about the deployment. We will talk about it later on. This is it for now. We learned about the unit testing as well. So this is the standard practice of writing on this unit test. This is the unit that we are testing the auth unit, and then you're first setting up everything so that we know exactly what you are going to do. And in this env, for the setup, like you are setting up the demo envs for the testing. And this is the API response. And then the integration test means you are testing the entire feature. Unit testing means we are testing one component. Okay. So as you can see, you're testing the entire document feature here. Got it. Now there are some commands, scripts, which I will run. npm run tests. So see, all of these passed. Okay. Like this, guys. So this is it from this tutorial. The main purpose was not only to use the Node.js for backend, not only to use the Agentic AI, but also to tell you how exactly things work under the hood. Okay, like we learned whatever this created, how exactly does it work? Okay, how exactly does cursor rules work? How exactly does cursor plans work? How the cursor's different mode work? And how to exactly pass the prompts to cursor to produce good results, how to utilize it for our learning. We learned about Docker, we learned about unit testing, integration testing, we learned about file and folder structure, the application architecture, we learned about the MongoDB, you know, everything we learned. And apart from that, some security stuff like course and rate limiting and helmet. And finally, we learned about the Postman testing and the collection creation, which is also something that we will do in companies. All of this knowledge now you can utilize to create your own application. I will be providing you the source code, so don't worry, you will get the source code. But wait, how can I create a repository right from the cursor? I will do it right in front of you. Okay, so here, git ignore. Okay, I could have added this one as well, but I'm not going to do it because, like, I want you to know what cursor exactly does with this. Okay, node modules, build, and envs we don't have to push anywhere. Env.example we can push, and you can simply use this env example. There is absolutely no need to worry. Okay, readme, and if I preview Docker compose, okay, so prerequisites Docker. My Docker is up and running, don't worry, and this is how you can test it. React integration, you can try, but I will also teach you, don't worry. Go to this Git, click, and let it generate the commit message. Publish branch, MS Word, public repository, MS Word REST APIs. Nodes. I'm pushing this to public repository and I will be providing the URL to this repository as well. So don't worry, okay? Now you also learned how to use Git in Cursor. That's it from this video, guys, and I will see you next time. Bye bye for now.